Dear participants, welcome to our panel. My name is Yvette Ramos and I shall be your moderator for the next 1 hour. I am the president of the NGO Womenvai, which is a platform of women and men, engineers and scientists bringing together innovative solutions for a sustainable planet. So we use high technology, such as artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchain, sensors, etc., for climate change adaptation, for example. Dear participants, dear panelists, today we are proud to have women engineers around the table from the world contributing to the SDG number 6. And we'll talk about opportunities, challenges, and initiatives across the globe. SDG number 6, as you know all, aims at ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. As of course you know, despite progress, billions of people today still lack safe water, sanitation, and hand washing facilities. Data suggests that achieving universal access to even basic sanitation service by 2030 would require doubling the current annual rate of progress. More efficient use and management of water are critical to addressing the growing demand for water, threats to water security, and increasing frequency and severity of droughts and floods resulting from climate change. So today, I first would like to thank Procard International, who is an official partner of Swiss Engineering Geneva, and Dennis, who is part of the Committee of Swiss Engineering Geneva, is our technical support. Thank you very much, Dennis, from Switzerland and Bolivia to be with us. Our first panelist, Camille, and I will right now share my screen with you. Yes. I will share my screen. Unfortunately, Camille is a young engineer from EPF. Can you all see my screen? Yep. Yeah. Camille is a young student and she just got a new position as a field water engineer. So she could not, unfortunately, be with us. But I will just take a few slides from her presentation because actually, I was graduated from the same school as her. She just finished the graduation of EPF, before it was called EPF, École Polytechnique Féminine in France. Now it's EPF Graduate School of Engineers because since many years now, EPF had an international strategy to go out, not only being in France. What I want to express here is that, of course, myself, I'm an EPF too. So it was a few years now. Not very recently, but still, we would like to present EPF, who is a partner also of the Womenvai. It's a school with a faculty of engineering with a long last story. I won't go into the details. If you are interested, you know that there is a major of energy and environment, and we can facilitate any exchange with the EPF. They are the director, I know him very well, Managing Director Jean-Michel Nicole is very much willing to share projects together with his students and with you who are listening to us today. Of course, there are different projects that even, I won't go into details because Camille is really the one to manage those projects on the ground together with EPF. But as you can see, these projects are really contributing to the SDG number 6. Okay, coming back to our panelists who are here today, and I will stop sharing my screen so I can give now the speech to Mrs. Lilian Coelho, national from Brazil and project manager working for Suez Group based in France now. Lilian, you are even French, you've got both nationalities, correct? I'm very proud and thank you so much to be with us today. We would like to hear you about the Suez Foundation and its activities for and with women in the climate and water environment. So please, Lilian, tell us about these 4 initiatives that focus on promoting inclusion in a sustainable way. Lilian, it's your turn.
Thank you, Yvette, for introducing me today and this new generation of panelists that join us. We are sharing amazing ideas. Thank you, Susan, and all team from the last initiative, the Paris Committee and Capacity Building PCCB to engage actors and strengthen its ties with relevant bodies under and outside the convention as we are doing today. Hi, everyone. Thank you to be here today. I will talk about women and activities that make us key players in the climate, specifically about projects that include technology and humans. Then I would like to start Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Argentina, Uganda, Niger, Morocco, Senegal, Turkey, Hungary, and China. What these countries have in common? The proportion of wastewater safely treated in households are under 50%. And if you take out China from this list, most under 30. It's impressive. But we needed to take care that COVID-19 and climate change are impacting our world together at the same time. Prior COVID-19 pandemic, there were 135 million people struggling to access enough nutritious food, forcing countries and regions to significantly reduce food imported by closure of borders and interruption in global and the national and the local markets. And at the same time, climate continues to change and cause unprecedented adverse effects on agriculture. Then this is amazing that why you connect women and water in the sanitation projects. Because women play a major role in agriculture, mainly in developed countries. 43% of the agricultural labor force are women. They own just 1% of the world's land. Every 2 minutes, women dies during the pregnancy. 800 to 75 million of them don't know to read or write. And then also 290 million women and girls depend on livestock farming to generate income. They earn only 10% of the world's income. That's not fair. Something needs to change, no? Then to talk about resilience in the transition with a new business model and a new Green Deal, we needed to help associations, employees, society to join teams to act now by promoting inclusion, combating exclusion in a sustainable way. That's the mission of Suez groups, promoting inclusion, combating sustainable, combating problems in a sustainable way. Then the 3 factors that the Suez Foundation applies: promote access to essential services, supporting inclusion, promoting social inclusion through the education, culture, and the sport of young, water, sanitation, and water management for vulnerable populations in development countries. Then I will present 4 projects, but before I would like to precise some specific outcomes in 2 kinds of projects: water projects and sanitation projects. In access to water projects, women and girls are responsible for getting water in 8% of households without access to water locally. The consequences: lack of schooling or economic activities. In improved sanitation projects, absence of improved and safe sanitation facilities accessible in the community, schools, camps. The consequence is either lack of education, economic activity, and security, serious pathologies. Then I propose that I choose 4 projects that change women's lives. The first one that combines technology and inclusion. It was with association Darcy Ahmed from Morocco, cloud catching nets for fog water collection to apply arid hamlets outside the drinking water network in the High Atlas Mountain in Morocco. In this project, women are guardians of the network. They are trained to send SMS message in case of leakage. We integrate women and the economy. The second one is Les Puits du Désert in Niger. They create and rehabilitation of wells for villages, grazing, horticultural development, agricultural activities have enabled, and the girls could go to school. The women have created a cooperative and participate in the economic and the development, agricultural, and the guarantee of peace. The third project that I found amazing also that was developed with Rwanda is Citywide is the technology from the energy recovery from the cashew nuts waste and the biosharing, biocarbon from domestic consumptions to replace the wood carbon from the non-managed and the vulnerable forest. In this case, we can see that women can use energy for cooking and limit deforestation. And the last one, water life in Bangladesh, but not only. Access to domestic water in Islam in Dhaka, it was provided nearly 30,000 slums dwellers in the Philippines, Bangladesh, and Ivory Coast with adequate public services. Women, guardians of the services and trained on fire prevention, that decrease of community tensions. To finish, I would like to conclude this presentation. There are no sustainable development without women. Women are used to belong to an organization and for a long time. That's longevity of service. Togetherness and bonding exhibited by members of the community, the cohesion of communities glue that holds a community together. This is the cohesion of the community bring by women. The guarantee of peace. Women are guarantee of peace and security of life and property to all within her protections. Children's education, rural areas, development of biodiversity, and climate uses. Thanks so much for your attention, and I wait for your questions.
Thank you very much, Lilian. Very interesting to know the Suez Foundation with the developing countries and regions of the world issues and challenges. And we hope that together with our platform, we can develop even more such projects, maybe bringing a little bit of high technology in, so that would be great to discuss that afterwards. Thank you so much, Lilian. Sandra, now it will be your turn. You are a water, sanitation and hygiene consultant engineer who set up your own consulting firm with waste management expertise in Rwanda. So please give us a few figures about women engineers in your country. Showcase a project, please. This project is named after the Citywide Inclusive Sanitation, a sustainable approach to sanitation for all. You may share your screen. Dear Sandra, it's your turn. You want to speak French or English?
No. Thanks very much, Yvette. I'm waiting for Lilian to stop us.
Lilian, can you stop sharing your screen? Okay.
Thanks very much, Yvette. Yes, for sure, it's a very big pleasure to be here with all of you. My name is Lilian Sandra Kente, and I'm in the water and sanitation sector for the last 15 years, I guess. I've been working mainly into water sanitation and hygiene, but also on the environmental side by looking at environmental impact assessment and wait a little bit. Yes, environmental impact assessment and environmental management plan and so on. So today I'm going to be a little bit talking about citywide inclusive sanitation. As Lilian was saying, you know, there is no sustainability without women. And when you talk about water and toilets, so first of all, in developing countries, you think about women because we are the first suffering when we don't have water and we don't have sanitation properties. So quickly, what I'm going to get it's a little bit about how is the women in engineering in Rwanda, what's the current status and everything. After, of course, introducing myself and my company, and we shall go into detail of what do we mean by citywide inclusive sanitation, what are opportunities there and challenges, and some conclusion. So I specialized in municipal water infrastructure, as I said, and I've been working all over with starting my career as an academic, which has helped me very much to grow as a consultant. And of course, worked a little bit all around Africa, Burundi, Fiji, Senegal, and some ESAS countries. And all along, because when you're working as a consultant, it was necessary so that you can have a farm which can address some of the component, as we are saying, that Womenvai is for innovation, technology, and everything. So Envirotech Consult was born in 2011 with a specialization only into water, sanitation, and hygiene projects. As well, when you talk about them, we also have to think about what's the impact on the environment. Do we have the right standards which can help all the developmental projects? And that's mainly what the company is doing. Some of our recent works, we do work with specialized, what I'm saying that we install in some incinerators wherever necessary. This is one of the big achievements last year, an incinerator for laboratory waste for the Rwandan agriculture ports, and also some wastewater treatment plants, of course, so that you address the wastewater. We are still having the centralized system so that when it's necessary, you need to have a packaged wastewater treatment plant to different projects. And of course, we were not hidden before the COVID. We did some intervention in COVID, whereby we're introducing some soap dispensers using the local bar soap. You know, it's very interesting nowadays. With the COVID coming in, we need to wash our hands regularly, and the liquid soap was becoming a very big problem. So we come up with some of our partners with an idea of having a soap dispenser which can be used locally, using our local bar soap, the normal local bar soap which we have. And the picture you see here, it's at the entry of the city of Kigali, one of the big main bus park, where we have already installed these devices, and it is showing tremendous impact in terms of cost for reduction comparing to what was being done with the liquid soap. It was showing around 85% reduction in terms of running costs. So this is also one of the technology we're trying to enhance here, so that we see if it can be easily applicable during this COVID intervention, with the hand washing becoming more and more important. So that was a brief introduction, and coming to women in engineering in Rwanda. Of course, we're still having some gaps. It's really, it's not easy. Looking at what the Institute of Engineers of Rwanda, which was also established around 2013, we have at least 1,000 something members who are working as professionals, and among them only 47 are women registered. So we're still having a lot to do in terms of sensibilizing them to come up, because that's not the only number which we have. Still, we are also very small compared to what is there, but we're also trying to get to sensibilize them so that they can join us and join the institution, be more professional in terms of registering and everything. But which has started, you see that at least the graduate technologists, women, at least they are kind of a little bit more, although we are still few, but women are understanding it, and then they need it in terms of coming up with the requirements to be registered in engineering Rwanda. So, of course, based on what you see in these numbers of women in engineering, they are still very low. And I guess it's not only in Rwanda, but most of the developed countries, we're still facing these challenges of little girls joining the profession. But with a lot of awareness campaign, we can assure you that with time coming in, we are sure that women will be joining. Down there, there's have some data from the Rwanda Education Board, which is showing that promotion of science, technology, and mathematics is coming in because females, at least when you look at the secondary school, we have at least 48% of female, which is giving us hope that in coming years we shall have a lot of women in engineering in the profession in Rwanda, which can also work all over the world. So that was just a quick the situation of women in engineering. Coming to the real project I wanted to share with you, which was the Citywide Inclusive Sanitation. First of all, why Citywide Inclusive Sanitation? It's because, as you may see, most of the developing countries, we are relying on on-site sanitation. We are having septic tanks or soakaway pits. Most of our countries are relying on on-site sanitation. And in those on-site sanitation, some parts, when the septic tank is full, what do? Do we open another one, or we need to empty it, or and then we need to empty it and then continue using it. So the citywide inclusive sanitation was the approach which was developed in order to consider everyone. When I'm saying everyone, it's like in developing countries, you have these least income communities, or if I can say slums areas, whereby sanitation is kind of a luxury. You having a toilet, it's not at the hand of everyone. So when you think about citywide inclusive sanitation, it's this approach which should look at everyone, including those with little means. So that was an approach which has been developed, and the aim was to consider everyone, either from the well-defined areas and also not well-defined areas, looking at where they are and what can be done for them to ensure that they have the adequate sanitation. So of course, the outcome will be to that the human safety is ensured, effective recovery of resources. You know that when you have these resources, you can reuse them. Diversity in technology so that you can at least ensure that everyone is covered. And also looking at where we can combine both on-site sanitation and off-site sanitation. So citywide inclusive sanitation, of course, when you look at it as such, because we're looking at the least income people, it's a kind of opportunity in business as well. When you look at the whole sanitation value chain, meaning like starting from the containment, emptying, transportation, treatment, and reuse, you may have a lot of business coming in. Someone can start business into containment model, looking at the situation. Of course, each local condition differ, meaning that the type of toilet which you may propose in Kibera in Nairobi will be different from the type of toilet you may propose to Kigali, because we have some different background, different concept and everything. So you may have a lot of business coming in. We may have the containment model, like toilets, type of toilet, which can be also a kind of business into this business. You may also think about emptying and transportation model, having this tank which can ensure that people are getting off the sludge when it is full and then transport to the adequate area. And also you may have a model of combining both containment, emptying, and transportation, treatment, and reuse, which has also been started in some area in Africa. We have something which is ongoing in Kenya, like the Kibela camp. We know this is the big slum whereby some companies like Sanitation has started looking at it. They're providing toilet, they are emptying it on a regular basis, and then they are putting it from it. They are making some compost which they are selling. So this is something which can be considered even for all other cities. Of course.
Sorry to interrupt. 1 minute.
Okay. So for the opportunities, of course, when you look at it, you still have big opportunities. You may have some incentives and innovation which are coming in. Talking about opportunity, but also you think about what are the challenges. Some of the challenges, of course, initial resources may be very high. You may not have the adequate policies. You need specialized people, human resources. You have to put everything into the picture, consider the end users, the community and everyone, and so that you can have your model being well done. So one of the conclusions which I can say that looking at our areas, citywide inclusive sanitation can be the real approach for the coming in years, so that you can ensure that everyone has the adequate sanitation. Of course, we need proper planning. And one of the best important things is we have to consider everyone, including the end people, the community. Role of women's engineers, yes, of course, the women can intervene everywhere, every planning, from planning, implementation, regulation frameworks, setting up, awareness campaign, you know, we have seen something which has been done, and then it was very wonderful when it is done by women, either engineer or not. And one of the things, yeah, with this approach, we can ensure that everyone has sanitation. So that was one of the projects I wanted to share with you, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Very interesting. We hope that we can disseminate those ideas, and why not work with countries or other regions of the world to deploy those projects. We have already 2 questions. One of them is, we won't address the questions now, but just for you panelists to think about why are women not going necessarily to engineering, I mean STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Are they preferring to stay at home and take care of their families? So this kind of question are raised, and I think we shall address that. Of course, I'm very eager to say that no, we have no such preference. Like we are like the male, we have the same brains. So then the society will build on those preferences. But let's talk about that towards the end. We now welcome Sangeeta. Sangeeta, thank you so much to be with us. I know it's late for you. Sangeeta, you are the president of the WISE India, the Women in Engineering and Science Network in India, and you are managing partner at SD Consulting in India. Of course, you're going to present the role of the role model case studies and how the process helps in educating and modernizing the society. So you have some answers already to the question I just raised, actually. Why and how can we attract young ladies to go and work with us in the STEM arena? Because this is all around the world. So the plan, the time is yours. Sangeeta, please, you just shared your screen, right? So you can start now. Thank you, Sangeeta.
So, hi everyone. I'm Sangeeta Vij. I'm a structural engineer, and I am practicing in my own consulting firm for the last more than 30 years. And I have been making a small contribution in my way by designing a lot of sewage treatment and effluent treatment plants, large capacity, medium capacity, and also rainwater harvesting plants in my own company. And WISE India is a group of engineers and scientists who are basically working together to benefit the community. And I think our engineers and our scientists have come a long way of doing something really remarkable. So let me start by sharing the data. How does Indian scenario look? In our case, I think the situation is more or less as covered by Rwanda. There are still a significant number of people who do not have access to clean water and clean sanitation, hygiene facilities, leading to illnesses and leading to severe diarrhea. So I think our focus has to be to improve both the quality of water and access to sanitation and hygienic facilities. So our government has allocated a large amount of money, and there is provision improvements. I will just share the data. So the targets are that by 2030, we need to achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for everyone, and also access to sanitation and hygiene for all by 2030. Our government has really done wonders to stop open defecation, which was happening more in the rural areas. And I think our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has personally taken it up as a mission to stop, the open relieving and all that. So having access to sewerage networks and having access to toilets within the household, even in poor communities, is really very high on our government priority. And government is doing a lot to strengthen the participation of local communities through government initiatives and also initiatives of various foundations. I'll just share one example here. We can call her hero of India. This lady, Kiran Agarwal, Desh, has done a wonderful job by creating a new check dam in her village in central India. And years of drought and water scarcity had often led her children to go hungry. But she's now, she came up and said to the other women in her community, in her village, let's get together and let's make a change. And let's come out of this situation. So they started it in one village, and now they have more than 600 volunteers, or they call them Jal Sahelis, 200 villages. And this is gathering momentum, and they are doing a lot of activities, including rainwater harvesting, digging wells, desilting the ponds available, building check dams, and repairing hand pumps. The women say that their efforts have resulted in better irrigation, healthier crop harvests, increased access to water, and most importantly, fewer long walks to
Sorry, Sangeeta, we cannot hear you now. Can you cut your camera? These are connectivity issues we are struggling with. Maybe can you cut your camera and we give you back the speech once.
I look at another role model.
Denise, can you cut Sangeeta's camera, please? I think we're going to give the speech to the next panelist because I'm sorry, Sangeeta, we cannot hear you very well. And probably we'll have a few questions for you in the next, before the end of the hour, okay? So we're sorry for that issue. Of course, we know that connectivity is an issue everywhere in the world. And what I suggest now is that Alice, you get ready for your presentation. If Dennis, please stop sharing the Sangeeta's camera. We now welcome maybe Alice. Alice, you're a PhD student, a lecturer at the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. You also hold the position of Deputy Vice Chair in the Women in Engineering group under the FAO, which is the Federation of African Engineers Organization, and the World Federation of Engineering Organization. You also introduce yourself as a mentor in professional development for young and senior men and women engineers. And I'm so pleased that you mentioned that because it's so important. And we almost forgot to mention that we at Womenvai, we are all volunteers and we do mentoring programs and coaching, etc. So, of course, it is very important when we talk about increasing the numbers of young ladies joining the STEM arena, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Worldwide, we are about 10–15% women, young ladies studying and then having a career path, and of course in the STEM arena, in the industry, etc. So it's very important that we also work on balancing that. We know that the STEM fields are needed to design modern ways to attract future engineers with an emphasis on women and young girls. So thanks for the highlight on that. Alice, sorry I was a bit long introducing you. You are now going to present 2 projects, and I think you can share your screen now, that's perfect. One on rainwater harvesting technology and the other one on the organic waste management for production and animal feed protein. This is your turn, Mrs. Alice.
Thank you, Yvette. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Yvette has already introduced me really well, but I'm Alice Sisibika, now a PhD student, working also with the University of Dar es Salaam as assistant lecturer, and I'm here to talk about contribution of women engineers towards ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation in Tanzania. Tanzania has many engineers and women also included, and the percentage, like the previous presenter presented, the ratio of the women engineers is still low, but we are also trying to do many of the projects to increase the number, and the ones that are already engineers are really doing many interesting projects that are helping in the strengthening the welfare of the people. And I'll only present here only 2 because of time. And I'll start with the first one, which is led by engineer Dr. Tulinave, who is at the Water Institute in Tanzania, also working at the university while doing different projects. And this one is mainly to ensure water, especially in areas where there is limited supply of water, because the country is so big and not all areas have water, especially in rural areas. And this includes schools, hospitals, and also places where people sit. So this project was aimed to harvest groundwater, to harvest rainwater, so that it can supplement to the places, it can provide water to places which have no water, because we have a lot of rainfall during the year, which is around 400 to 2,000 millimeters per year. And we have areas which have lakes and rivers and the oceans, but then there are those ones which have really dry seasons most of the time. So this project was done in rural areas where they have scarce of water. And the project is long, but I've put YouTubes and some supplement materials that you can listen and go to, because I think Yvette will share these slides, talk notes of today. But mainly what they did, they went to special schools whereby the students used to actually spend some of their time, instead of studying, to actually go and collect water for various activities. And it used to consume a lot of time and also take most of the times. And so this project really aimed at putting tanks and also gutters in the roofs, so that they could actually collect water, because they get a lot of water in the entire area, and then which can also be used throughout the year. And it was successful, and there was a lot of awareness to the students themselves, but also the community at large, the villagers. And also we did a lot of awareness through newspapers and articles and radio and television, so that it could be awareness actually can use the harvesting of water to do this. And then the second project is on PSFL composting, that is the black soldier fly, to compost on organic waste. And this one is being run and is being taking place now. And mainly it comes with the background. There is a lot of waste generation that is predicted coming years and even now. And in most countries, including Sub-Saharan Africa, it's a lot of it, which is predicted. So we have to do something about it because it pollutes the environment. This includes also water, because we just throw and we leave it there, or most of it is being landfilled. This is a problem and challenging because even the places where the water is available, for example, the water is still being polluted. And at least the plastics, you can see in this picture, is being collected because they see value out of it. But then for the organics, there's less value that is being seen because people don't know it has value, and it still has value because it has nutrients. So one of the process that we are working on to establish an industrial scale also, but now it's still on the trial in a small scale, is the use of this black soldier fly, which it's larva. So you give the main larvae, like that's a state, like the fly lays eggs and then the eggs hatch into the larvae, and then we feed them with the organic waste, which eventually they grow up and we get the larvae. That's a end product that can be used as a supplement because it has 40% protein and 30% fat. And also, so it can be used as animal feed in chicken and fish and other pigs, but also the end product, which is the waste that they ate and remain, that is we call the residue, we can also use it as a fertilizer in the end. So this project, we think it's good because it adds value to the organic waste, which is now a problem in the environment, but at the same time, it produces end products that are valuable. That means it can be sustainable if you put into use, since these products can actually go and generate some income that can actually help in the running of the project at the same time, and at the same time put value to the waste and clean the environment. So we are still working on this, and I thought these two would be good projects to present today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Alice. That's great. And you were on time, so we still have a 15-minute left for questions. First of all, I would like to have a round of applause for our panelists. Applause ourselves, please. Thank you again. Sorry, Sangeeta, we did a quick summary of your presentation, and I will give you again the speech in 1 minute. Maybe you can address the question on how and what are the projects that we can implement at the international level. Why not WISE India together with your Womenvai partners to attract young ladies to the STEM arena? But before, let me address one question that came to Sandra. Sandra, are you with us? Yes. How can this approach that you presented be applicable for areas with no toilets at all? Or let's say slum areas, in fact. I think you addressed a little bit that, but can you just in 1 minute answer that question, please?
Yeah, thanks very much once again. Yes, of course, the Citywide inclusive sanitation, it's mainly for urban areas, specifically looking at the people with no toilet. So this is one of the best approach because into the business model I was talking about, we are not only looking at the end product, like we are treating the waste, but we are looking at the physical of the places and then looking at what they have. If they don't have toilets, we start by giving them toilets. And in some places, like especially into those slum areas, they don't have toilets in every home. So they have what you call shared toilets. So in some places, in some areas, you need to first of all give them those shared toilets, but which are very, very clean, sustainable in terms of how they can, ensure that they are clean, have soap and water. So that's something we can do. And then from there, because it's in clouded areas or it's in slum areas, what you do, you ensure that as well, the fecal which has been produced is also removed. So this is one of the approach which can also look at those people living in slummy area and which can ensure that as well they have what they say that adequate sanitation facilities. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Minta and Sangeeta. Did you think about what we told you? I think there was one participant asking, well, come on, women are not interesting. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Women are not interested in STEM. They prefer to stay at home and, of course, take care about their families. What can you react on that one?
Well, I think I'm a firm believer in role models. I have been practicing structural engineering in a male-dominated construction industry in India for 38 years.
Oh gosh, it's cutting.
And I am...
Bandwidth, can you cut your video?
And I believe...
Maybe Lilian. Lilian Coelho, can you answer to that? I know you had an opportunity you had an opportunity to be on a video with the Brazilian. Brazilian is very much suffering from COVID-19 these days. And we know that there is a strong challenge nowadays for women and girls. You are Brazilian, you know about what's happening in that country, in your country. What are the specific partnerships that the Brazil would like to do with us on specific coaching programs or mentoring programs, please?
That is a difficult period for all of us. Countries have a lot of trouble, in particular Brazil, that I did a presentation 2 days ago, and was with the Association for Engineers from São Paulo, and they are really worried about the future. There is sanitary crisis and economic crisis. Everything is together at this moment, and you have not help from political, and the governance is not very good in the good directions. But with association like the estruturas de concretos that you worked 2 days ago, they proposed to us to come back in 2021, when you hope that everything will come back to the normal, and deployed some cooperation to increase the women in STEM, to help to take out girls from the slums. Then you started 2 days ago good cooperation in Brazil to help next steps from the. But political is very critical, and they are suffering a lot of at this moment.
Okay, I can see that we have another question, but I cannot see the question. So Dennis, please write the question, or participants, please do not hesitate to write the questions in the Q&R slot. We have another question for Alice. Young, energetic woman engineer that you show your through today. How do you make it to overcome the daily challenges in your area? I mean, obviously you have men around you. How are you one of the girls who decided to be a STEM engineer, or are all the young girls in your family STEM engineer? How do you make it?
In my family, yes.
For example,
in my family, for example, at least my dad is an engineer. So I got 2 engineers out of the 4 girls he has. But overcoming the challenges of being an engineer, well, I think balancing, because the society still needs you to be a mom, a wife, church member, and like so many other roles, without really the profession part alone. So I think it's just the time management, and also not to lose yourself and forget about yourself, so that you can give the best to everyone, whatever requires your attention and time.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We have Stephanie who wrote a question, and Dennis is asking if we can ask you, Stephanie Rapoport, to give you the live speak. Can you allow ladies quickly? Stephanie, can you just present yourself? Hi, Stephanie, we can see you. Can you present yourself and tell us the question? Your mic, please, Stephanie. Please present yourself.
First mute.
Hello, Stephanie.
You can hear me?
Yes, we
Oh,
can.
yes.
I'm Stephanie Rapoport. I'm the co-founder of European Water Project, which is an NGO created in September. So it's very new, and we're fighting against single-use plastic. And so my question was, it's very heartening to see all of you, the panelists, engineers and women, being at the center of a global action for sustainable development, access to sanitation and clean water. And it's amazing to see what science brings, all the innovations to just work to combat waste like plastic, but also to collect water. And I was thinking about what Lilian just said about the cloud systems established in Morocco to just get the rainwater when the networks don't reach the mountains of Morocco and people can't drink a drinkable water. And so I was wondering, do you think all these innovations will enable to go against estimates that say that a third of the population will be deprived of and is already struggling to get access to drinkable water? Do you think there's hope?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Stephanie, for your question. Of course, there is hope. I'm very positive, and I wouldn't be starting off all those projects with all these wonderful ladies. And not only ladies, by the way, because we also have wonderful men around the planet that support us. And we strongly believe in diversity and mixity. So, of course, there is hope. We know that the 2030 objectives of the voted by the countries members of the UN back in 2015, they are challenging, and we have big hopes. And you can see that all the projects that we present today, either they are on a very local arena or more geographically expanded, they all lead to the same. They want to involve, and the key issue is about humanities. They want to involve the human resources. We need the money to develop those projects. We need the publicity, the communication, and these webinar tools are fantastic because now we're going to disclose, we have been registering this session. It will be published on the Womenvai YouTube channel. So of course, with all the media that help us communicate, all the means that we can gather in terms of money, human and technology, we have a big hope, Stephanie. So let's not get to suicide right away. Let's live long, and together with our friends from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, of course, and from from America, of course, we want to grow and propose those kind of projects across the world. I think there is another, well, thank you, Mr. Jean-Claude Koya. I know you are around here and you are congratulating us. Thank you so much. We want to do a project with you in Ivory Coast. I think we resolved all the questions. And again, it's 5 minutes left. So if there is no more questions, I have, I think, one question. Can we, oh, we lost Sangeeta. Are you here with us, Sangeeta? Can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
I'm so frustrated because it was so important for you to talk to us. And would you like to say a few words, maybe conclusive words? You have 2 minutes. Maybe you can close the camera so we can see some.
I would like to speak about Indian government initiatives. First of all, our government had a couple of years ago declared rainwater harvesting a mandatory feature for all the major projects, and environment impact assessment has been made mandatory for all important projects which are coming along. And our National Green Tribunal has also been empowered with lot more authority and power. And government had announced a smart city initiative wherein about 130 cities have been picked, selected, and are being developed as smart cities, focusing on other features as well as clean water and sanitation,
cutting
smart
again.
conversion.
So,
okay.
Sorry, Sangeeta, I think we will have to do it another time. Maybe it's very busy in India now with all the connections, and we hope for the best. Once more, thank you so much to our panelists. I think we can have a round of applause.
Today.
Our friend Nathalie Renaud, who's in Canada now, is also congratulating us, so that's great. Just a big smile to all of you, so I can take a picture and we can spread it out into the network. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, ladies.
Bye.